1 week. I am gone for one single solitary week, and the entire world goes crazy. I mean, you got stuff going on every stinking where, and I'm out trying to get a computer fixed. This never fails, by the way. It never does fail. I go away for a week, and this is what I get. And with that, now I told you I've been trying to get a computer. Now this is just again, I'm gone for 1 week, and this is the kind of abuse that I come back to. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, hi, hello, and how are you doing? My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and this is the Thursday Night Newsroom. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, as Emerson, Lake, and Palmer were fond of saying back in the day. We are here talking about the news. We're giving our views, and we're trying to make our way through this crazy thing that we call life. My name is Brian Trippett. I am known in social media as the Front Porch Conservative. I am sometimes known as the fine fella in the fedora. I am sometimes known as the beau in the chapeau. Occasionally, I'm called the common man with common sense. But in this moment, above all else, I am your host. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, and we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So if you would not mind, if you're not a member of my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to me on YouTube and on Rumble. And while you're at it, take the link for this live stream, share it around with your friends. Please tell people that we're here. We've been away for a little while, and the algorithm tends to forget about small content creators like me. So we'd kind of like to get back in the good graces of Mr. Algorithm. So no, you can't. You can't call me those things either. Yeah, that's right. You can't say it. Absolutely not. Shame on you. Anyway, yeah, share the link around with your friends. Let's see if we can get a crowd of people in here tonight. We're going to try and ease our way back into the water. It's been a little while since we've done this. Plus, I still got hopefully there's not too many bugs to have to work out, but we'll see what happens here, folks. Anyway, glad to have you guys here with us tonight. We are back with a vengeance. And when I say vengeance, oh, my Lord. Like I said, I am gone for 1 week, and there's news everywhere, domestically, internationally, in outer space. Well, maybe not so much outer space, but you get my point. It's everywhere. There's something going on. We could be here for 3 or 4 hours talking about just the subjects that have happened in the past 48 hours. But we're going to try and ease into the water. We're going to keep it to one topic tonight primarily, but broken down between two cities. So again, share the link around with your friends, leave a comment in chat, and most especially hit that thumbs up button, be it on Rumble or on YouTube. We're trying to make our way in this crazy social media world, and everything you do to help is always appreciated. All right, let's see who is here tonight. I know two people that are here because good Lord, did they load me up. Whee! WWG1 has been meme crazy. I tell you what. Oh my God. And TBA is the same way. AH Summertime is in the house. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Look, I have been trying to get this rig of a computer, this new thing going. I'll even show you what it looks like. Give me 1 second here. Ta-da! There she is. That's it. Pretty looking, isn't she? Now, whether she does anything or not is a whole other question, but we'll see what happens. Anyway. All right, let me see. That's the problem. I start adjusting cameras, and good God, then it's crazy. All right, there we go. That's better. All right. So, yeah, we got a new computer. We're trying to make that thing work, and we're glad to have all you guys here. But, yeah, TBA's in the house. WWG1 is in the house. I find this really a week, and I come back to this kind of love, or the lack thereof. Now this is very true. I have Rush Limbaugh's old curse. Now, in case you're wondering what he's referring to, Rush Limbaugh always used to complain. He would take, like most broadcasters on talk radio, he would take a vacation around beginning close to Christmas, and it would last through the first week of January. Okay. And he would and in that interim, you would think nothing's going to happen. More often than not for Rush Limbaugh, everything broke loose. It was crazy. And now I kind of understand what Rush used to go through in all this. So yeah, it's just been nuts. No, actually it came from Meta PCs. Not that I'm under any contractual obligation to shill for them, but yeah, that's where I made the purchase. I think it's a nice little computer. And update on a day. I have not complained that way. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Hoping that our friends on YouTube are coming by. Let's see. The IRS was created during. Really? Is that historically true? If that's historically true, I'm frightened. Just frightened, my friends. All right, hang on a minute. I got to check on my YouTube people because I don't see my YouTube people here, and this is scaring me just a little bit. One moment, please. Oh, it was December. Oh my goodness. Okay, YouTube says they're working. Let me make sure of one thing here. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just waiting for all my YouTube people to show up, bless their hearts. Okay, they'll get here eventually. Or hopefully YouTube will let them know, hey, by the way, he's doing live streams again. Yeah. At 11 p.m. on December 23rd. Jay whiz. What a way to bring about Christmas. Anyway. Yeah, I've since it's sort of us techie people here, particularly WWG1, I gotta admit, I really like this little computer of mine. It's gonna take a little getting used to. I love the speed. I can already tell the quality of the imaging is so much better. So much better. But yeah, looking forward to having a lot of fun with you guys here tonight. Like I say, I'm thoroughly expecting our friends to, pop on in at various points here. But yeah, we're going to kind of ease into everything tonight, talk about some stuff. Like I said, TBA and WWG1 absolutely loaded me up on memes. And gentlemen, bless your hearts. I know you've missed me because you had to have missed me for all of the things that for all the memes you've sent me. I cannot put them all in tonight. I'm going to save some of them for Thursday. And again, keep them coming. We'll all, if they don't get used on one night, they'll get used on another. Oh my gosh, there she is. I've missed this girl. Come here, give me a hug, baby. Ah, you gorgeous woman. Woo! The YouTubers are here. The YouTubers are here. Yes, absolutely. Oh gosh, I know. You'll have more later, but you know what? Oh, salty old farts in the house. There you go, Salty. How you doing? The sombrero. I mean, oh, we got a few of those, brother. We got a few of those. Oh my gosh, yeah, we got a few of those, my friend. It it amazes me. Yeah, you've got a few. It amazes me the political right's ability to meme. And maybe people on the left can do it too, but predominantly really good funny memes are done by folks on the political right. And it amazes me the creativity and everything else that they bring to it. Matter of fact, Salty just dropped one in. Let's see what he's got before I God, Salty, you're awful, but we're no sir. I got a place for that one, buddy. I got a place for that one. This is gonna be fun this evening. Oh my gosh. Woo! Where is my hang on now. It's funny you ask me this question. I don't have it here, and actually it doesn't even belong to me. But if I needed to get my hands on a sombrero, I know just where to go get it. And you know what? If this thing keeps up, I just might go grab that sucker. I'm just saying. that is a really good point, WFG1. You really a good joke or a good meme in this case, yeah, it's got to have a certain amount of truth behind it. And, if it doesn't, it just falls flat. I mean, it's like, any good comedian will tell you a good joke, a good meme has got to have a certain amount of truth to it. And I'm not saying the left is full of liars, but perceptions of the world tend to warp your humor. And when they try to meme, it's just not funny. Well, I mean, Colbert, Kimmel. Now let me say this. Stephen Colbert can be funny. Jimmy Kimmel, for everybody's gripes with Jimmy Kimmel right now, Jimmy Kimmel can be funny. Jimmy Fallon, I have always found to be funny. I really have. Regardless of his political position, I've always thought Jimmy Fallon was hysterical. He's just got that kind of goofy ability to make you laugh. And they can be funny, but when they start getting political, man, it goes right out the window with these guys. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, we're glad to be back. We're glad to have you guys here with us. More of our old friends will find out that we are back live streaming again. So yeah, let's just get to it. We got a ton of memes. We got a couple or three stories. Like I say, we're kind of testing the waters here, so we're going to see what we got. All right. Now, well, I mean, as I mentioned at the top of the show, it's crazy right now all over the world, not just the United States. I mean, you got stuff breaking loose in France. You got stuff breaking loose in Great Britain. You got the whole Ukraine-Russia thing. You got the possibility of us whatever going on. And again, you always got to wonder if there is intelligent life beyond planet Earth, what must they be thinking? And if they did come down to our planet, how would they present themselves? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we think we have found some recent evidence about what would happen if they did present themselves. And let me tell you, it's, I don't know, man. If they come wearing this kind of a hat, just understand there may be a reason why they're doing that. There may be a reason why the aliens come looking like this. I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I had to pour myself a cup of tea tonight. It's actually chilly this evening. Anyway, so yep, there's that. All right, what else is going on? Well, the government shutdown continues, and you would think that as tough politically as things might be right now for the Trump White House, you would think the tensions might be high. You would think that people are snapping at each other. Maybe they're not getting along, whatever. Apparently that's not the case. As a matter of fact, recently the president was seen with FBI Director Kash Patel at a social function. And you know what? It apparently, if this government shutdown is affecting Trump or Patel, you cannot see it. As a matter of fact, they had this brief exchange. Trump said to Patel, "I'll bet you $20 that when you raid Obama's house, there are no panties in Michelle's underwear drawer." Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know, but it may be. It just may be that that's the case. But apparently, I mean, the Donald and Straight Cash homie Patel are apparently they're making their way through all this craziness. So good for them. All right, what else is going on out there? What else can we make fun of and joke about? Yes, the government shutdown and all the fun that goes with it. Now, here's where I'm going to need some help from you, the audience. I have done a couple of test runs with this new system of mine, okay? So please let me know whether the sound comes through on this or not. Government shutdown. And as you would expect, the loyal opposition, the Democrat Party, is out there trying to make their statements to the press, get their message out to the American people, etc. Well, for some strange reason, of which I don't know why, the Democrats seem to be having a very, very hard time getting their message across to the American people as to why the American people ought to support their position. And I don't get the why, but let's see if we can understand a little about what's going on. And as always, please let me know if the sound is coming through.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
Guys, I don't know. I mean, look, I am not the best, expert in terms of how one should communicate, but the messaging seems just a little bit negative. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they're not getting anywhere with it. I don't know. I have no idea. And by the way, I want to thank all of you for the sound check. Sound. Let's see. Sound is good, but I can still see your face. Your computer is broken. Rodney Dangerfield was absolutely right, ladies and gentlemen. No respect. I don't get no respect. No respect at all. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the sound is good. Okay. Baby. Woo. I got to come up with a nickname for this computer. I don't quite know what to call it yet. Now, I'm not calling it a POS, okay? So just all you wingnuts out there, you just stop that crap right now, okay? I am not calling it a POS until it actually does something that justifies me calling it a POS. So, okay. All right, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Salty's contributing again. What's he got? What has he got? What is this? Good Lord. You never know with him. What is he up to? What have you done, boy? Yeah. We're Salty. You are a bad man. That's all I'm saying. You're a bad man. Oh, yes. It is a Taco Tuesday night. Although I did something tonight that I haven't done in ages. I mean, look, I will freely admit I eat at restaurants way too much. Every so often, I just want a simple meal at home. This evening, I had some chicken breasts in the freezer. So chicken breasts, stuffing, and mashed potatoes. Now I got leftovers for a couple of days. I'm good to go. So, and it was it's just sitting right there. It's like, oh God, that was delicious. Just delicious. Anyway. All right. Yeah, Salty. This is getting in. This is getting into the mix. Daggone it. Just daggone it. Let's see. Where do I want to put this? Hang on, though. Now, you look at that last thing and you wonder, man, this sombrero thing, how far can it possibly go? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think Salty Old Fart was absolutely right when he said, the sombrero memes will continue until morale improves. And I'm sorry, if you Democrats out there, if your morale is not improving with each and every sombrero meme that's being put out on the internet, then I don't know what to do for you. Okay. Look, we here on the electronic front porch are always trying to improve your life, help you smile, do what we can to make you happy. But if you lefties out there are just not with it, then I don't know what to do for you. I really don't. So if you don't laugh, that's your own problem. Yes, indeed. Happy Taco Tuesday. Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go. Now, this whole sombrero thing is getting is really starting to get to Hakeem Jeffries. Seriously. I mean, now I don't know who on his staff recorded this, but apparently psychologically this thing's getting to him. Matter of fact, we got some, I guess maybe they're doing some kind of a video conference call, and Jeffries was in such a hurry to get from one place to another, he had to do it from his car. But I tell you what, man, Jeffries is not doing well with this whole sombrero meme thing. Matter of fact, if you want to see how badly it's getting to him, watch this. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hey, look, regardless of one's politics, if you find out that someone is going through a really bad emotional period, you should offer up kind words and prayers for him. So, you know what? In the privacy of your own home during your time of conversing with the Almighty, may I recommend that you offer up a prayer for House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, because apparently the psychological strain of this government shutdown is starting to get to the poor boy. He's seeing things that really are not there. I'm going to tell you. Poor old Hakeem. What are we going to do for the guy? Except pray for him. Now, Trump, on the other hand, this government shutdown is absolutely tailor-made for this dude. He is loving life right now. If you don't believe me, he recently gave a speech, and let me tell you something. Trump's getting into the whole meme thing. He really is. I mean, I don't know if this is his youngest son who's helping him out with this, but I tell you what, it is something to behold. Trump getting into this whole meme thing. If you don't believe me, check out an excerpt from his speech. Watch this, folks. Uh-oh. Yeah. I mean, look, Trump's powers of persuasion are getting to these Democrats. It really is. I mean, Democrats are doing things because this government shutdown they never thought they'd ever do. So there you go, folks. I don't know what to tell you here. But Trump's having himself all kinds of fun. As a matter of fact, it's gotten so bad for the Democrats. Everywhere they turn, everywhere they go, everywhere they look, they see sombreros. Look, I want to win in the game of politics as much as anybody else, but I don't want to see people go through some kind of a psychological breakdown over it. This is not good. I mean, these people need help. They really do. Bless their hearts. They got to get hold of themselves. That's all I'm saying. I really feel bad for them. I really do. It's just, they should not be going through something like this. It's just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Not good at all. Not in the slightest. But some people, regardless of what's happening, they're trying to find a way to make it through and do right by themselves. I mean, and some people have certain standards that they're living up to. I mean, for example, some people refuse to call ICE until the installation on their new roofs are done. And you know what? Daggone it, I can respect this. I can absolutely respect this. Salty, hold on to that thought. I mean, we're not necessarily going to get into a discussion tonight of the government shutdown, but that's something we need to come back to. So, and we might touch on the government shutdown just a very little bit. I haven't got any articles set up for it, but man, you bring up a really good point, and that statement relates very much to how Americans so far are viewing this government shutdown. And I've said the worst thing the Democrats could ever do for themselves long term is to have government shutdown and to utilize it as a weapon. Okay? I have always said tactically it is a mistake for the Democrats to use a government shutdown as a political weapon, especially when they don't have the presidency. And I'll get to that here in a minute. All right, I want to thank WWG. Well, we've got a couple of more memes before, but they'll kind of lead into our first topic. You guys remember the that great poem that's written at the base of the Statue of Liberty, the New Colossus? Great. If you don't remember this one, I really, really recommend that you go and look it up. It's an absolutely fantastic greeting. It's a poem that is written and engraved on the base of the Statue of Liberty as you come into New York Harbor. And somebody took that and made a really good point with it when they said the following. Where does it say, bring me hostile freeloaders waving their own flags? Now, that's a good point. It does not say that. And furthermore, contrary to what leftists may believe, mass immigration does not bring the world together. There's only really one thing that brings the world together, ladies and gentlemen. And as Christopher Walken explained to us many years ago, it's more cowbell. So the sooner we start putting more cowbell into our lives, the more we've got the opportunity to make the world a better place. Okay. I want to thank WWG1, TBA, everybody for the memes. Man, we've been gone for a week, but my gosh, the quality is just absolutely amazing. You guys are awesome. As always, thank you for your contributions to this little live stream and the funny that comes with it. So you guys are absolutely awesome. All right, let's get into it. At least one topic for the evening. Like I said, we're kind of easing back into the water here. And that is what is going on in Chicago and what is going on in Portland. And we have, well, you know what? We do appreciate you. I don't know that I go so far as to say my show needed saving, but you know what? We appreciate everything you guys do. So I know I'm just giving you grief. Thank you. Chicago and Portland. I do my best not to engage in hyperbolic language. I try to be as even-keeled, as most people want to do if you're doing live streaming, particularly if you're talking about the news. That said, however, I am very, very sure we are headed for a not just constitutional crisis. I think we're headed for a larger physical confrontation than what we currently have right now. And I mean that in all sincerity. We've got, and I think it was Victor Davis Hanson. He came up with this glorious term for it. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Oh my gosh, that man has a beautiful way with words. Victor Davis Hanson, historian, farmer, etc. The term that he used to describe certain current politicians right now is, let me see, what was it he used? Oh, come on. Shouldn't have this much trouble. Yeah, here it is. Neo-Confederate insurrectionists. No. Here it is. Neo-Confederate secessionists. Amazing term for it. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. How are you? Mwah! Missed you, baby. Missed you. Come on in. Bring some friends with you. Daggone it. Oh my goodness. So good to see you, darling. So good to see you indeed. That's all. You can be a tad behind. That's perfectly fine. It's all good. Yeah, neo-Confederate secessionists. Now, what's he talking about? Victor Davis Hanson, and I do not have any clips pulled up for it. I wish now I had. But he makes he makes a fabulous point, and it's this. What's the difference between politicians in the era of the pre-Civil War and in the early days of the American Civil War versus what you got going on right now? And when I say politicians, what I'm referring to are mayors of big city Democrat strongholds: Chicago, Portland, Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York City, etc., and so on. Nothing. If you get right down to it, there's fundamentally no difference. And it really is just amazing. There's fundamentally no difference. And it's frightening where we're going, particularly in Chicago. I got a story here from Fox News, and I'll tell you what, this is just over the top crazy. Chicago mayor creates, now get this, ice-free zones to block federal agents from city property. Mayor Brandon Johnson signs executive order creating ice-free zones amid lawsuit rejecting Trump's National Guard deployment. Article by Deidre Heavey. We got the following. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson signed an executive order Monday prohibiting federal immigration agents from using city-owned property for immigration enforcement operations as the Trump administration deploys National Guard troops to Illinois. Johnson established the ice-free zones, referring to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, as part of his Protecting Chicago initiative, rejecting President Donald Trump's crime crackdown and deportation rollout in the city. Quote, "Today we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration," Johnson said during a news conference on Monday. The order establishes ice-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids. As Chicago seeks to thwart ICE's deportation efforts, Johnson and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker filed a lawsuit Monday attempting to block the Trump administration from deploying National Guard troops to Illinois. Quote, "The Trump administration must end the war on Chicago," Johnson said. "The Trump administration must end this war against Americans. The Trump administration must end its attempt to dismantle our democracy." So there you go. Now, I am no lawyer, but I got bad news for Brother Brandon. You ain't winning this lawsuit. Oh, you might get some judge in and around Chicago, particularly if they're appointed by a Democrat, like let's say Biden, Obama, Clinton. Well, for that matter, one of W's judges might even do it. That's how bad they are. You might get them to do it for a little while, but ultimately, if this thing goes up the food chain in a federal court, you're not going to stop the Trump administration. Why? There's two reasons. Number one, the president has the exclusive authority to call out National Guard troops if he so chooses, and there is precedent for it beyond Donald Trump. I mean, we've listed examples of it here on this live stream. Think back to the LA riots in 91 and 92, when President George Herbert Walker Bush deployed the National Guard to stop the rioting in Los Angeles. I mean, Eisenhower deployed National Guard in Arkansas so schools could be integrated. I mean, there's plenty of historical precedent that says the president can deploy National Guard if he so chooses to do so. Okay? That's number one. Number two, have you guys ever heard of Joe Biden? Now, I know it's a silly, y'all are sitting out there in the audience going, "What do you mean if Democrats heard of Joe Biden? Of course they did." Hang on, I'm going somewhere with this. Do you guys remember was it late 23 or early 2024? There was a case where the state of Texas took certain measures at the Rio Grande River to try to enforce the southern border. Okay. And, look, I haven't got much use for Governor Greg Abbott of Texas. To me, he's just like most bushy Republicans out of the Lone Star State. But I will give him this. On On the question of trying to control the southern border and do something about illegal immigration, Greg Abbott stood up for his state. Okay. So, but the Biden administration took him to court. Now, a lot of people looked at that and said, oh, liberal Democrat, he just blah, 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 blah. Hey, wait a minute. Out of that decision came something very, very important. Now, people on the right got mad at the time at the Supreme Court, okay, or various federal courts. But basically, what was ruled was immigration and how it is enforced is the exclusive parlance of the federal government, more particularly the executive branch. States don't get to interfere with this, and if the states don't get to do it, daggone the cities don't either. This whole ice-free zone idea that Brandon Johnson's got out there in Chicago, this is not going to fly, ladies and gentlemen. I got bad news for Brother Brandon. Brother Brandon, give it up. It ain't working. I'm telling you right now, it will not work. You don't get to do this. Contrary to what you might think, you do not get to do it. Why? Because the Biden administration, through the Supreme Court, has already established that immigration is how it is enforced is the sole province of the executive branch, and more particularly the federal government at large. This is not going to work. And brother, not that you're going to listen to me on this, but this is not going to work. You're inflaming the tensions. Now you're trying to make political points, and this is not helping the situation at all. WWG1 says, if this were a national emergency because of insurrection or invasion, then the president can do what he needs to do with the National Guard. All right, that's a fair point. And that gets to something else. We're about an ace away from Donald Trump invoking the Insurrection Act. Matter of fact, if you don't believe me, hang on one second. One moment, please. Donald Trump got asked about this yesterday in the Oval Office by Caitlin Collins of CNN. Give me 1 second here. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, give me one moment, folks. Yeah, Trump got asked about this the other day, and folks, I don't think he's too far away from doing it. If you don't believe me, listen to the exchange between Caitlin Collins of CNN and President Donald Trump. Check this out, folks.
Over a weekend. What?
The Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed. We have to make sure that our cities are safe.
Folks, I'm going to make a prediction right now, and I don't think this one's really me going out that far on a limb. Do not be shocked at all if that's what Donald Trump and the Trump administration does somewhere in the next 30 days, maybe less. Yeah, well, we could start a betting pool on this. Seriously, we really could. It really would not surprise me at all. And I'm scared for where my country's going. And by the way, yeah, that's a good point. Good point, my friend. Good point indeed. Oh, yeah, it is wild what's going on across our country. Totally. Absolutely. I am scared to death for where we're going here. And by the way, I'm not so much scared of Trump. I mean, look, you could make an argument, and I think a fairly good one. You could make an argument that, okay, really, do we want federal troops you know, doing whatever in the way of law enforcement. No. On the other hand, the Democrats have in these big cities have let these cities get so bad that, it's nothing in Chicago for like what, 25 or 50 people to be shot in a weekend. And everybody in Chicago just keeps on going right along like nothing's wrong. It is nothing to have Antifa out in Portland destroying and burning and raiding and looting federal property, and the governor just like, oh, okay, nothing's wrong, nothing's fine. I've reached out to our good buddy Kit Cabello of Hardlands Media to see when he'd be available to come on, because I want to get his take on what's going on in Chicago. And I really do. I want to get some firsthand perspective. I've also been given some names of some people who've got a real good feel for what's going on in Portland. I'm going to try and reach out to them and see if we can get them to come on and talk about it, because, man, we need some people on the ground who got a feel for what's happening, because this stuff is about to get out of hand fast. TBA says, if our local police and state police departments are so corrupted, then someone needs to clean out the rot. Let's let the military chuck them all in Gitmo. Well, that's one solution to it. Well, yeah, and yeah, this is a legitimate concern. Totally legitimate concern. Where does this go? Where do we go? I mean, look, Trump's in. Yeah, this came out just a few days ago that Trump's, designating Antifa a domestic terrorist organization. And frankly, you can't blame him. You can't blame him at all, because that's what they're doing. Now, Ruben, my friend, really? Listen. I will say this about Caitlin Collins. If that girl would smile, she'd be pretty. I mean, look, otherwise attractive young lady, but if she smiled, she'd be pretty. That's the best way I know how to describe her. You're right. Resting bitch. You're right. Resting bitch face. I agree with you. But if she'd smile, it would be, first of all, it would shock people if she knows how. But yeah, she'd be so much better off. She never smiles. Never. I have never seen that woman smile. Not one. No, I do. I think Caitlin Collins, has the potential to be pretty. She does. And I think if she smiled, look, I think she is pretty. It's not like she's unpleasant to look at. It's just that she never smiles. She's so serious. It just, and she doesn't need to be that way. She really doesn't. Now this is untoward, sir. Caitlin Collins is not a man. Michelle Obama, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. But Caitlin Collins is not a man. Good grief, sir. How untoward. Now, getting back on topic, I am scared to death for where. No, now this about Caitlin Collins, I think, is absolutely true. I think that's absolutely true. Oh, you have not, sir. You have not seen a male member on Caitlin Collins. Now that's just rude. Good grief. The audience I keep, I tell you, folks. No, I'm about to swing it back around. Thank you very much. This is scary where we're going here. This is absolutely scary where we're going. But I go back to the first question that I asked at the top of this topic. And that is, what's the difference between politicians in the era of the Civil War, particularly on the Confederacy the Confederate side, and big city Democrat mayors and Democrat governors right now. Nothing. They're trying, I mean, politicians today are trying to say that the federal government does not have power in areas where it does have power. The same argument was made in the 1860s. You know, absolutely crazy. Motard, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. You know, okay, hang on. I gotta jot myself a note. I gotta dig into that one. Not that I usually pay much attention to Candace Owens anyway, but yeah, this might be worth talking about. If not Thursday, then on Saturday for sure. We got to get into this. Oh, really? Really? Okay. Okay. Did not know that. I'll check that out. Again, one moment, folks. 10-7. Okay, there we go. These last few days, really? I would argue, sir, she lost it a long time ago. The proof of which is the whole Brigitte Macron situation. Lord have mercy. No, Queen Candace lost her mind a while back. Anyway. So yeah, Trump's on the edge of invoking the Insurrection Act. We've got mayors in Chicago doing wild stuff. We got a comment here from Mayor Brandon Johnson. Let me pop this up on screen just to give you an idea of where we're headed with this thing. So, folks, check this out in 3, 2, and 1.
I said very candidly that the right wing in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War.
Prove that. Where? How? Under what circumstances, sir, are we supposedly wanting a rematch of the Civil War? Explain that to me. I don't get it. But okay, we'll give you a chance. Go on.
I want that to sit in right now, because the President of the United States of America has declared war on the people of Chicago and people across America. That's right. He's more interested in giving billions of dollars to other nations, while farmers in urban cities around this country are literally being destabilized. And so whether it's the legal system, whether it's through executive order, or whether it's through the brave women and men who are serving as rapid responders. We literally have people who are volunteering in this city, on the southwest side, the northwest side, all over this city, to make sure that we're protecting children from being separated from their families.
Yeah, and I caught that too. Farmers in urban cities. What? Huh? Duh? What? Yeah, and Brandon, you've also got stand down orders being given to the police not to help out federal agents who are trapped, boxed in certain areas. Oh, yes, and there is audio of that, my friend. There is audio of it. Somebody gave a stand down order to the Chicago Police Department to not do anything to help out federal agents who were trapped in a bad situation. Yeah, that's the kind of bravery you're talking about. But anyway, let's go on with this, shall we? This should be interesting. What else have you got to say there, His Honor DeMea?
And we're talking about volunteers who are literally putting themselves at risk of being shot and killed by the federal government.
Why would they be at risk of being shot and killed by the federal government unless they are resisting orders, sir? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everybody who works for the federal government are as sweet and innocent and pure as the driven snow. But by the same token, only reason I can think of why you would run the risk of getting shot is if you are either resisting orders or as TBA wisely says, you're aiding and abetting terrorists. So, that's a little bit far-fetched that people are going to get shot. But anyway, please do go on. I'm dying to hear what else is on your very erudite brain, he says with dripping sarcasm.
And so whether it's the legal system, whether it's our continuous struggle for liberation through organizing,
we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong era. Anyway, go ahead.
And whether it's through executive action or whether it's through law, it would be nice if we actually had lawmakers in Washington that would actually hold this president accountable. And if they won't do it, then the city of Chicago will.
Oh, whoa. Hold up a second. I want to go back on something. I want to hear this again.
Won't do it, then the city of Chicago will, using every single tool that's.
Wait a second. Hold on. Back that up one more time.
Executive action or whether it's through law, it would be nice if we actually had lawmakers in Washington that would actually hold this president accountable.
Oh, no. I'll do you, Brandon, I'll do you one better than that. It'd be nice if we actually had mayors in big cities like yours who would let the police department do their jobs and protect the citizens so that your citizens don't get shot. It'd be nice if we had mayors that would do something about illegal immigration such that city services that you would otherwise be able to give to citizens of Chicago don't go to someone else. It would be nice if we actually had someone running the city of Chicago who cared about his citizens more than he did his public image. It would be nice if we had all those things. The problem is we don't have them. We have mayors like you, linguini-spined, banana for brains, toads who absolutely have no more idea than the man in the moon what they ought to be doing to protect their own citizenry. You're just letting the city run amok. People are getting shot. Illegal immigrants are running around everywhere. Gangs are taking over the place. Property's being destroyed. Businesses are leaving. And you're the modern day Nero. You're fiddling while Chicago burns down around you. I'll tell you what would be nice. How about some leadership in Chicago so that a president does not have to send in the National Guard to restore order? How about that? Oh, blessed Lord. I'm back one night and I'm already ranting. Anyway, a few more seconds of this twerp. That might be all I can take. Hold on, folks.
And if they won't do it, then the city of Chicago will, using every single tool that's available to us.
Well, that's the problem, Brandon. You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. And now the federal government, vis-a-vis Donald Trump, feels compelled to come in to try to protect your citizens because you won't do it. Now, do I want federal government involved in civilian policing? No, I don't. But what's left? You won't do anything to stop it. Your citizens are being shot and killed on a regular basis, and you just do nothing. Unbelievable. Yeah, here's something to say, Chicago. Yeah, they did not do anything but call off their own PD from helping. Exactly. That's the very situation I'm talking about. That's a great question. None. Oh, my God. Oh, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming, brother. You knew it was coming. Just unbelievable, this guy. Well, it'd be nice if somebody in Washington do something to rein this president. Yeah, it'd be nice if you actually did your job so the president doesn't feel like he has to come in and do yours. Shocking. Positively shocking. Oh, but he's not the only one. He's not the only one. Oh, no, I thought I had a quote from Pritzker. I'm not going to do it. Now, if you want something that backs up my point about, where all this is headed, I got an article here from Rich Lowry. Rich Lowry is formerly the editor at the National Review. He's now kind of freelancing around the conservative media world these days. And I got a story here from the New York Post. Headline: Democrats have only themselves to blame for Trump's National Guard patrols. This was published this morning in the New York Post, and it goes something like this. President Trump wanted an excuse to send National Guard troops to Chicago, and now he's got one. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can enlarge that, make it easier for you guys to read. There we go. That's better. The Windy City in recent days has done its best imitation of Los Angeles, where resistance to immigration and customs enforcement operations created the justification for a guard deployment a couple of months ago. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson hate the notion of the National Guard in the streets of the city, but have failed to rally Chicago residents to do the one thing necessary to avoid the deployment: let federal officers do their job. The word should have gone out long ago. Don't riot outside ICE facilities. Don't ram cars into ICE vehicles. Don't keep ICE officers from making arrests. Don't follow ICE vehicles in an attempt to disrupt operations. Don't act as though the Gestapo has descended on your city and civil disobedience or violence is the only answer. None of this should be a really big ask. And you know what? Look, I am not real wild about Rich Lowry for a lot of his political takes over the years, but Lowry's absolutely right. If you don't do the things that he mentioned, guess what? You don't have National Guard running around the streets. Part of this is about the general lawlessness that is the city of Chicago these days. The other part of it's about you don't interfere with a federal operation, especially on the question of immigration, customs, and enforcement, because the Supreme Court, through the Biden administration, said, hey, it's the exclusive province of the executive branch of the federal government. How they want to handle this is entirely up to them. Anyway, let's get back to this article. According to Johnson, quote, the president of the United States has declared war on the people of Chicago as if detaining people who have no right to live or work here is a hostile act against U.S. citizens. Pritzker says ICE needs to get out of Chicago. The resistance to ICE shows that we have created enclaves that, as far as their political leaders and a significant element of the population are concerned, are supposed to be no-go zones for federal immigration enforcement. What should have been the exception, the defiance of federal immigration law, is now considered the norm, such that any disturbance of it is intolerable. It's bad enough that Chicago is a sanctuary jurisdiction, but Johnson just signed an executive order designating parts of the city ICE-free zones. The order purports to put city-owned property off limits for use by ICE and encourages local organizations and businesses to do the same. Unless Johnson has found a way to suspend the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution by mayoral fiat, this will not stand. And I absolutely agree with Lowry on this. Ain't no way in the world Brandon Johnson's going to make this stick. It ain't happening. Because like I said, once this gets out of the friendly courtrooms, Democrat-friendly courtrooms in Chicago, and this gets up the food chain, They ain't no stopping Trump, because a federal judge or the Supreme Court sooner or later is going to rule, yeah, he wants to deploy federal troops. You're not going to stop him. And this whole ICE-free zone thing, you forget it. That's not going to happen. All right, a little bit more from this article. Under the Supremacy Clause, federal law takes priority over conflicting state and local laws, and state and local property are not exempted. Otherwise, Governor Orville Faubus could have deemed Arkansas state property off limits to federal officials and troops when he fought to stop the integration of public schools by the feds in the 1950s. Johnson says, quote, the right wing in this country want a rematch of the Civil War. He apparently doesn't realize that if we're in the run-up to another Civil War, he's in the role of Jefferson Davis as an opponent of federal authority. Now, there's no doubt that Trump was hoping that ICE operations would engender resistance, but once the resistance has happened, he's on solid legal ground turning to the Guard. The president has what a 1971 Office of Legal Counsel memo called inherent authority to use troops for the protection of federal property and federal functions. And 10 USC 12406 provides for the mobilization of the Guard when the president can't enforce the law through regular federal forces. While Trump loves the idea of troops in camouflage patrolling our big cities and blue governors and mayors hating it, the role of the Guard is limited to protecting federal assets. The troops won't, in and of themselves, move the needle on immigration enforcement or crime. In a better world, there'd be broad agreement that federal immigration laws must be enforced, and cities with a major crime problem would ultimately seek federal assistance, offered in a cooperative spirit to take on gangs and illegal guns off the streets. This is not the world we live in. The legitimacy of federal immigration enforcement is under attack, and the federal government is acting to vindicate it. Like I said, I don't always agree with Rich Lowry on all of his takes, but I'll tell you what, that is a fantastically written article. Matter of fact, let me do something for you guys right now as sort of my welcome back present. I'm dropping this on both sides. We're going to drop this in YouTube chat. We're going to drop this in Rumble. And if you guys want to read this at your convenience, feel free. But yeah, I mean, this is crazy where this is going. Absolutely crazy. So that's Chicago. Now let's take a look at Portland. Oh, and by the way, if you think things in Chicago are wild, get ready, my friends. This is about to get real interesting. As a matter of fact, we have a snippet of a video to give you an idea of how high the tensions are in Portland. Folks, take a look at this, because this is gonna, I warn you, this one's not for the faint of heart.
What's your name, soldier? What's your name, soldier? Tell me your name. What's your name, soldier? Yeah, you hear me? What's your name, soldier? What's your name, soldier?
Sergeant Pepper!
What?
Yeah, things are really getting, they're getting tense there in Portland, buddy. Yikes. That's a good way to put it. That's a real good way of putting it. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, folks. I wholeheartedly agree with this. Whee! Yeah, Portland's turning into a whole lot of fun. Goodness me. Goodness me. Yeah. And however, not everybody in Portland has lost their sense of humor. Believe it or not, somebody decided to troll Antifa in Portland. Well, hey, look, I don't care if that was AI generated or not. That's just funny. Anyway, somebody decided to troll the Antifa folks in Portland, and they did it in probably one of the most unique ways I've ever heard of. Hang on, folks, and do me a favor. Check this out.
Leave this restricted area and may be subject to detention. To depart the restricted area. Thank you. This is the Federal Protective Service. The facility is closed and not open to the public. Stay out of the area of the driveway to allow for vehicular traffic. Remain on the sidewalk or across the street. Everyone must leave this restricted area and may be subject to detention or arrest for failing to depart the restricted area. Thank you.
Yeah, somebody decided to loudspeaker in Donald Trump's voice, and let me tell you, talk about setting people off. Yeah, somebody's having a whole lot of fun doing it. Let me tell you now. Goodness me. Yeah, things. I mean, you thought things in Chicago were bad. Did you guys hear about what happened to Nick Sortor? Now, for those of you who don't know about Nick is an online reporter, mostly on Twitter, and he breaks a lot of really good stuff. He got arrested the other night in Portland by the police for nothing. And the judge dismissed the charges, but I'm telling you what right now, do not be shocked if the city of Portland winds up getting one of the biggest lawsuits on their hands they've ever had. Matter of fact, I got a story here from Breitbart. Really? That's a little suspicious. Or maybe better to say, it makes me suspicious. And we'll see about that. Yeah, he got assaulted and then arrested. I got a story here from Breitbart. Portland dismisses charges against journalists arrested while covering attacks on ICE agents. Who wrote this? Hang on a minute. Let's see who wrote this thing. Bob Price for Breitbart. Independent journalist Nick Sortor claimed victory after the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office dropped disorderly conduct charges filed against him on October 2nd as he covered the ongoing attack on ICE agents and facilities in Portland, Oregon. In a random act of law enforcement, the DA announced, I detect a bit of sarcasm in that. In a random act of law enforcement, the DA announced they would be pursuing charges against the two men who were allegedly attacking Sortor outside the ICE facility. District Attorney Nathan Vasquez stated on Monday that his office had dismissed the disorderly conduct charges filed against Sortor on October 2nd. Quote, after a careful review of the investigation, including reports and videos, we do not believe the crime of disorderly conduct can be proven against Mr. Sortor beyond a reasonable doubt. The statement confirms that the two other men arrested in the incident have been charged with disorderly conduct and will be prosecuted. Quote, free speech does not include the freedom to commit crime. It does not matter if an individual is expressing ideology from the right, the left, or the center, Vasquez said in the press release. What matters is whether or not there is evidence to prove a crime was committed. Sortor welcomed the action by the DA, but said the matter is not closed. Quote, trust me, this is only the beginning. Yeah. Do not be shocked if the Portland Police Department is not sued into the next area code. Oh, I wholeheartedly hope he does. One big fat check. Yeah. Yeah. And he should. He really should. Oh, hang on a minute. All right. Let's take a look at this real quick. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me see what old Nicholas has up his sleeve. Ooh. Okay, hang on a minute. Let me pop this up on screen. See if I can enlarge this, make it easier for you guys to read it. Yeah, here we go. This is Nick Sortor's Twitter page. My attorney obtained the Portland prosecutor's internal memo, declined to pursue the case against me. And he even admitted I committed no crime and acted in lawful self-defense. Okay. What else we got here? Oh, wow. Oh, hang on a minute, folks. An illegal captured by ICE begs Kristi Noem to let him go. That tactic used to work under the Biden regime, but not in the Trump administration. Quote, you waited until we retained you, so now you will be removed from this country and never get the chance to come back. Oh, wow. I want to see this. Hang on a minute, folks. Hang on just a minute. Let me pop this out here. Watch this.
Do let you out? Yeah. No, not let you out. You're under arrest. You're under arrest. Are you here in the United States illegally?
¿Estás aquí ilegalmente? ¿Tiene papeles para estar aquí?
That's a criminal charge in this country, to be here illegally.
¿Sí o no? ¿Tiene papeles?
Is that your brother? Yes? Yes, what's his name?
My brother?
Yes.
¿Cómo se llama? ¿Esteban?
Yeah.
Aristide.
You waited until we detained you. So now you will be removed from this country and never given you a chance to come back.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say there's a new sheriff in town. Now, listen. do I think that Kristi Noem, I think Kristi Noem, like a lot of people in the Trump administration, loves to be in front of a camera. On the other hand, I can also see the value of like showing people publicly what you're doing. That said, I don't have a problem with this. I don't. I really don't. You came in the country illegally. Goodbye. So, yeah. Yeah. And we might get into this more on Thursday, but Kristi Noem's been stepping around in Portland. Met with the governor of the state of Oregon, met with the mayor, met with the police chief. And this is getting real interesting real quick, folks. Truly, truly. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, whoa. Hang on. Hang on a minute. We got something here from Benny Johnson. And take this with a grain of salt. He and Nick Sortor were out together today. And folks, you might want to take a listen to this.
Yo, what's up? We are on the ground in Portland, Oregon with the legend himself. Somebody who's probably going to be made sheriff around here by the time it's all over. Nick, what's up?
They said that we were going to change the name of this town to Sortland instead. So, that's how big this lawsuit is.
Yeah. Give us an update, man. Way to beat the case.
Absolutely.
Way to beat the case.
But you know how we did it? We put in a demand for discovery. We wanted to know the coordination between Antifa and the police department. They looked at that and they're like, never mind, case dismissed. So, unfortunately for them, we're going to keep pushing that, even though they've dropped the charges. So, stay tuned. I'm just happy to be in the back of a police car without handcuffs on this.
Oh my. So we've got collusion between the police department and Antifa. Am I shocked? No. Just unbelievable. Folks, this is going to get wild before it gets done. This is going to be absolutely wild. Completely crazy. And like I say, we're just getting back into it. Now, that's more or less what I've got so far. No, I'm not really shocked, dear. I'm not shocked at all. I am like you. I'm disgusted. Okay, now I've got some questions. And this will kind of help me going forward. All right. As far as video quality tonight, was there any lag, pixelating? No, WWG1. I know what you think about my computer. And yes, it is working, even though you can still see my face. Okay. Was there any lag, pixelating, problems with video quality, imaging, that sort of thing? Okay. All right. This is a good start. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. No lag. All right. No pixel. Okay. Now, I think the audio might be worked on. No problems at all. Okay. Was the audio okay? I mean, any problems there? I was a little worried about the sound, but is the audio okay? Is any problems there? Anything like that? Because like I say, this is kind of the first run for this new computer, and I just want to make sure everything's, up to snuff. Okay. Audio sounds fine. Audio is fine. Okay. Face is for heaven's sake, WWG1. Jeez. Come on, man. Where's the love? Okay, audio is good. All right. Yeah, baby. Y'all don't understand. Well, yeah, you do. You bless your hearts. You've suffered with me through all of this. I got me a good horse again. So we're going to see how far we can ride this baby. We might be back in the video business. We might be doing a lot of things again. So we'll see what happens. All right. A little brief train ride tonight. We're going to bring this into the station. Thank you so much for stopping by. Tell your friends, tell your mothers, your brothers, your lovers, your sisters, and your misters. We are back. 7 o'clock this Thursday night. We are back in business, ladies and gentlemen. High flying, limousine riding, jet kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. We back. Woo! Yeah. You tell him, TBA. You tell him. I'm just messing with you guys. I know you're messing with me. It's all good. It's that's right. That's right. Yes, hit that thumbs up, people. All right. 7 o'clock this Thursday night. We're back. So bring some friends, spread the word around. Let's do this thing. I will now that we're getting the legs stretched out a little bit, I'll keep on working on and tweaking this thing to improve it. Y'all just bring some people with you and let's have some fun. You know, well, Patty, good evening, Miss Patty. Good evening. Good to see you again. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to be here Thursday, and remember the words of that great American philosopher Tom T. Hall when he said, "It's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, more money." See you guys this Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Let's have some fun in between. Talk at you later. Bye-bye.